So both of those girls, Ame Darling and Jennifer Pickett, they both have YouTube channels, and you can just take their channel, study each product or whatever, as you're going along. Don't be totally overwhelmed with it, but just as you're going along, study their products, and you can send their information to people that are asking questions. Then the fourth way is I use Plexus Power Tools, which is a $10 subscription. They have all the ingredients on there. And the ingredients are also on our websites. I mean, they're on the back of all of our stuff and everything like that too. But Plexus Power Tools, they update it. It's $10 a year. So those are the four main ways that I know for ingredients.
And my favorite thing to say is, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
That should be on a t-shirt. I don't know, but I'll find out.
Right.
Because that's the best answer if you don't know.
Because it's okay not to know. I mean, we're not specialists in this stuff, but we have people within our company that are, and that's why we share information.
Right.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay. So Terry Jo and I are going to go over social media posting, which is like the best and easiest way to let people know that you're doing this and to share the Plexus word.
Right.
So the first
one is be consistent in your posting. Like we have said before, if you are going to post and you are going to share Plexus, you want to share every single day. Be consistent. If you share once this week and once next week, people aren't going to believe that you're super passionate about it. They're going to believe you're just kind of in there every now and then. So you want to share at least one post about Plexus every day and one non-Plexus post. And the reason we say a non-Plexus post is because your Facebook people are in there to see you, and they're there because of your family. So you don't want to just post all Plexus all the time. You have to put your personal life in there too. So do one Plexus post a day and one non-Plexus post a day too.
Exactly. Also, you want to vary the time of posting. So you don't want to post at the same time every single day. Because a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people are not on at 7 o'clock in the morning or not on, you just want to vary it to get the most views from your posting. So switch it up and see what gets the most interest from your followers.
Exactly. And like we said before too, you want to make sure your Facebook friends see your face. And so when you're posting, take a picture of you and your product and do selfies with your pink drink. Definitely they are there to see your face and your family's faces. And so incorporate Plexus into your daily life when you're posting, and just be very passionate about that.
Right. Be Plexus.
Right.
On Facebook.
Absolutely.
And in
Absolutely.
person. Okay. Minimal graphics. Like you can use graphics if you want to describe it. Like I used a BioCleanse graphic the other day. But for the most part, people, like Terry Jo said, want to see your face. So keep the graphics to a minimum. And also your website, you really don't want to share your website. You don't want people going on your website and just ordering whatever. You want to be able to guide them with what they should buy, just with what they're struggling with. And also it's just kind of pitchy and salesy if you throw your website on there. So minimal graphics, not website, not posting the website.
Exactly. The other thing is too, when you make a Plexus post, if Jenny comments on my Plexus post, like, oh my gosh, that's great, you want to comment back on the post. So every time you comment back on the post, it puts your Plexus post back at the top of the news feed for all of the people who didn't see it earlier in the day. So every time somebody comments, don't just reply in a comment, but make a new comment and post every single time. It just keeps your post back up there constantly in the news feed for everybody to see.
Exactly. Also engaging with your non-Plexus friends, acknowledging birthdays, commenting on pictures of their kids, or just kind of making that connection between your non-Plexus friends really can open the doors for, well, first of all, for them to see your posts, but also for questions about Plexus. It can just kind of keep those lines of communication open. So make sure not only to post about Plexus, but to reach out to non-Plexus friends.
Right.
Be active on Facebook.
Exactly. And not only that, but really only 7% of your Facebook followers see your posts. So you can't say, I'm posting once a day, why isn't everybody seeing them? Because only the people that are seeing your posts are the people that you're engaged with on Plexus or on Facebook. Facebook has it set up so they look and see who you're friends with and who you're interacting with, and those are the people that get your posts in their newsfeed. So definitely stay engaged with everybody. For instance, my hairdresser for 4 months, and I was posting every single day, she had no idea I was doing Plexus. She had no clue. I went in there, you know, first time I didn't share about it. When I went back in like another 8 weeks later, you know, I told her about Plexus and she was like, oh, really? What? What is that? What are you doing? And I share every single day, but she just wasn't seeing my posts. So that just tells you, you have to be consistent and you have to start engaging with other people or they're just not seeing your stuff.
Absolutely. You want to be authentic and passionate with your post. You don't want to be salesy. Just, you know, make it true. You want to be Plexus and you want to share, you know, like just from your heart, really. Just put Plexus in your life. Put Plexus in your Facebook post. It's
Right.
really easy to do, actually.
Absolutely. And
super easy to
the
do.
other thing you want to do is you want to make it your own post. You don't want to just go, if Jenny posts something and I want to put it back out there, you don't want to just click share and send the post back out. You definitely want to hold your finger, if you have your phone, on top of the print and it will copy it. You want to go in and write post and make it your own post and say, Jenny shared, Jenny says this about Plexus. Oh, I love her story. Or something. You do not want to just click it share because people are not seeing
They'll
those
scroll
shares.
right by the shares. They
Yep.
just scroll right by. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Absolutely.
so just
Here we go.
on
Julianne.
to Julianne.
So if you're posting on Facebook, you're probably going to have people ask you, what is this stuff? What is this crazy pink stuff? So I wanted to talk a little bit about samples and how to manage that and what to do and some tips on that. So Plexus does not, they don't require us to buy samples. They don't have certain sample packaging other than the 3-day, they have a 3-day trial pack and a 7-day trial pack. But otherwise, you just take single sticks out of your inventory. So I will tell you, learning this the hard way, I know we've been doing the 7-day challenges and those are really, really, really great. But normally, you only want to give somebody this as a sample. If you give them a 3-day or a 7-day, they will think they're going to lose 45 pounds in 3 days. And then you'll check in on day 3 and they'll be like, meh, I don't think it worked. And you're like, well, it shouldn't have worked. It's only been 3 days. Like it hasn't worked yet. So this is great because it's just a taste test. I put them in Ziploc bags. I have these stickers made. You can do them yourself or you can order them Vistaprint or Graphics Nanny or several things. There's also a business card in here. I would make up a couple of these and just keep them in your purse, keep them in your car, so that you have them on hand. It's not fancy, but it works and it'll keep it all together and then it has how they can get in touch with you. Another cool thing to do if you really want to do a blitz of samples is get a full bag of 30. We did this as a team challenge, but then all of a sudden our team blew up. So I never even asked anybody how it went because I didn't want to jinx whatever was happening. But you just take the full bag. There's 30 in here. Set a goal to give 30 to 30 people in 2 weeks or a month or whatever it is, or order one of these every single month and see if you can go through it and give out samples. That's just a fun way to keep track of what's happening. And then the other thing is you're going to want to follow up. So if you send this to somebody, tell them, hey, I'm going to message you in a couple of days and see if you like it. Set that appointment that you're going to follow up. So then it's not awkward. You're not like, oh, well, do I ask them? Do I not ask them? Just go ahead and say, oh my God, I would love for you to try it. And I'll check in with you in a couple of days and see what you think. And then they know you're going to ask. And if you check in and they go, oh, I forgot I even had it. Say, okay, cool. Try it. I'll check back in a couple of days. Just keep making that follow-up appointment. And then you don't have to feel weird about it. And when you're trying to follow up, I would say you follow up within about 3 days, then maybe let a week go by, and then maybe every other week after that. But you will have to figure out what feels natural to you on following up with people. And then what to say when you follow up. You can ask them, hey, have you tried it? What did you think? Did you like the taste? And manage their expectation. Obviously, this is one sample, but if you're doing a 3 or a 7-day, all they're going to see is, do they like the taste? How easy it is? Does it make you jittery? It won't make you jittery. And then they might see a benefit from a 7-day or a 3-day, like better sleep or cravings. But they should not expect their entire life to turn around in 3 or 7 days. These are some good little brochures, the Graphics Nanny. If you have somebody that's not local, you can put this in the envelope and you can kind of put this inside of it so it protects it in the mail. And you can mail these with one normal stamp. So the Graphics Nanny on Etsy sells these, and they're pretty cheap. They're a trifold. They don't have pricing, and I buy them blank, and then I put my sticker on them so I can give them to people on my team and stuff if they need them. So that's samples, but it is an investment. I know not everybody can buy $500 worth of samples, but I mean, my gosh, if you can give away 30 samples and get 10 customers, it's totally worth it. So just look at it as an investment in your business.
Absolutely.
It's tax deductible.
It's
Write it off.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so reaching out. We're going to talk about reaching out. I know people have, they wonder, it's very intimidating to reach out, truthfully, especially like a cold call. So we kind of wanted to give some tips on that. So.
Right. So basically, we recommend this. It's called 3, 2, 1 plus 1. So we are recommending, the first thing is the number 3. We're recommending you reach out to 3 new people every day. 3 new people. Easy
3
as
new
that.
people. Simple. It's simple. Easy as that. Okay. And also, it doesn't have to be about Plexus. Like when I first started reaching out, it was all about Plexus. But then I realized that if I started reaching out, especially people from high school, or like my daughter plays volleyball. So I started reaching out because I started seeing people from when I would play volleyball. And so I would reach out to other people I saw, on my volleyball team from high school and go, hey, guess what? I just saw, Sarah at the volleyball game and blah, blah, blah. And that was another way to reach out and reconnect. And a lot of times they would bring up Plexus. I didn't even have to do it. And I was like, oh, well, now that you mentioned it, So it doesn't always have to be about Plexus. It can be about something else, just kind of making that connection.
Right. And when you're messaging people, Facebook, if you're sending a message back and forth on Facebook, Facebook now thinks you're friends, and your posts will start popping up in their news feeds. So messaging someone gets that interaction going, but it also makes Facebook think that you're friends, and they'll start seeing your stuff.
It's so smart. Facebook is so smart. Okay. Also, voice messaging.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. It's scary. It's scary, but it really does work when people can hear your passion in your voice. It doesn't sound so salesy. They can really hear that you truly believe in this company and these products. That's really a great way to do it. I got 3 ambassadors just doing that, and it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. And it was crazy. So.
Absolutely. And so not only that, but what do you say when you're reaching out about Plexus? You want to say something like, hey girl, not sure if you noticed, but I'm kind of crazy about this Plexus thing. Would you like a sample?
Right. Right.
Do that.
Just a suggestion of something that you can kind of to break the ice of how to reach out. So, but you can always blame it on the Plexus crazy.
Right.
So,
okay. So we said 3, 2, 1 plus 1. The other one, the number 2, is you want to follow up every day with 2 potential, or follow up with 2 customers. If you don't have 2 customers, then follow up with 2 potential. Somebody that you've reached out to about it before. And again, that Facebook voice messaging, or even just voice messaging on your phone, makes a huge difference in just a text, because they hear your passion in your voice, and it's really a big deal to do that.
It is.
Yeah.
And the one is training one person on your team, or if you don't need to train anybody on your team, then you can reach out to a sideline or to an upline and develop a relationship with your teammates.
Right. And the plus one is self-development, because that is huge. You need to develop yourself and make yourself a better person. So the ways that you can do that are watch a YouTube video or books. And I know that Julianne has a great love of books that she always recommends too. But self-development is reading books and taking care of yourself. Which one is that?
Rocking Your Network Business, Network Marketing Business.
The 4-year.
Yeah, 4-year. Yeah.
These are just 2 that I have laying here.
Yeah.
And 4-year career is usually like $6 on Amazon. Yeah. So it's good because you can buy them for new team members, kind of as a welcome. And what else can you buy for $5 or $6 with free 2-day shipping?
And I think this one was 12. It's 12.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Millionaire by Halftime.
Right.
that one, it hit home with me. A lot of stuff really hit home in that one. It was an easy, fun read. He was entertaining, and I really liked the information he gave.
Right.
In his perspective.
Right. Okay. So our next thing that's really important is there is a fortune in the follow-up. So now you've sent samples, you've reached out to people on Facebook. Now you have to follow up. And if you drop the ball on following up, what was the point in starting it all?
Yeah, so true. Okay, so Plexus is not on everyone's mind like it is on ours. Like I'm always like, why aren't they reaching? Why? I gave them their sample yesterday. Have they not tried it? Or what? Well, it's because they haven't caught the bug yet, and I need to put that in perspective and keep that in perspective. So that's why you need to follow up and just remind them, just politely remind them.
Right.
Right.
So you want to continue to follow up until they take some sort of action. So you don't want to just follow up one time, and then if they don't do anything, you don't do anything else.
Right.
You want to follow up until they take some sort of action, until they either say no, flat out say no, leave me alone, or until they become your customer or join you in the business.
Absolutely.
You keep following up until you've hit one of those things. And even after they say no, there's a lot of diamonds who don't believe in giving up.
Right. There very much are.
For sure.
They definitely. There was something I was going to say, and I can't remember. But anyway, it must have been brilliant. I know what I was going to say. It's taken me a year. It took me 10 months to get my cousin. I know, and Amy can relate to that because it took me a year to join, and she never gave up. And it took me 10 months to get one of my cousins, and then over a year. I just kept on following up, and I got a girl finally decided to be a customer. So you just gotta be persistent with it. Statistics, her favorite part.
Yes,
numbers.
Yes. Okay, so the one thing is 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. So that means you've reached out and you've sent them a sample. Almost half of you are never going to follow up with them again. This separates the dreamers from the doers. Right?
It's true. Okay, 25% make a second contact.
Right. 12% of ambassadors will make a third contact.
And 10% make 10%
make more than three contacts.
Okay.
And those are, like we said, those are the ones who separate the dreamers from the doers. The people that say, I want to do this. I so badly want to make a go of this. But they never make those actions to follow up. And then you've got the doers, and those are the ones who are going to succeed. If you are not following up with somebody 3 times, that's not being a doer.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Okay, so, and all of those people that you followed up with, 2% of commitments and sales are going to be made in the initial contact. So if you reach out to 100 people, you're only going to have 2 people that are going to go, absolutely, I'll do this with you right now. 98 people are not going to do that. So if you give up after that first contact, you have 98 people out here that you are not working with at all. You know?
No, keep on going. You're on the roll. I'm listening.
Okay, so 3% of sales are made after the second contact. 5% of sales, or second contact, 5% of sales are made after the third contact. You see how it keeps going up? 10% of sales are made after the fourth contact, but 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. So it's going to take you 12 times to get most of your people. You have to reach out and you have to follow up a dozen times until you actually get somebody to work with you. So don't follow up with somebody 1, 2, or 3 times and then tell your upline, I don't know why nobody's joining my team. I don't understand, because you're not putting in the right amount of work. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying there's a difference between a dreamer and a doer.
Right.
And if you want to make it work, 5 to 12 contacts, that's how long it's going to take somebody.
But just knowing that, there's a power in knowing that, because it helps you keep going. I mean, it does to me. I'm like, okay, I just got to keep going. This is our industry. You just got to keep going and keep trying and not be scared of rejection, truthfully.
Right. Because Jenny, on the day 1 that she signed up with Amy, on her first day, she said to me, do this with me, do this with me.
I totally did.
Right.
I went to volleyball and I was like, you've got to do this. So I've joined Plexus. You're doing this with me. You got to join my team. Da, da, da. And she was like,
And look at you now.
8 months later, she finally went, okay, that's fine.
Right,
I'll
exactly.
do it. So, yeah.
So examples of a follow-up is that you want to be passionate And I'll say the biggest thing is that you need to believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is going to help them. And in order for you want to tell them that. You want to say, Mercedes, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know you will feel better. You will have more energy. This will help you financially. You have to believe it, and you have to express that belief for them to really.
And passionately, enthusiastically. Right. Yeah, those words.
Exactly.
Also, another way to follow up, what questions do you have for me? Like, that's making an open-ended question so they can come back and keep the conversation going.
Right. Another way is to send them a testimony, and you can say, oh my gosh, I just ran across this testimony. It made me think of you, and message it to them.
Exactly. Offer a sample. If you haven't before, if you reached out without offering a sample and it's kind of the conversation has gone stagnant, you can always offer a sample.
Right. And another way to, anytime the company has a special, a coupon code or something, definitely use that to reach out to all the previous potentials that you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick? Can I say something?
Yes.
One thing to do too, if it's gone stale, like you haven't reached out to somebody in a couple of weeks, blame it on yourself. Go, oh my gosh, I just realized I never followed up with you or followed back up on our conversation. Do you have any questions? Even though that's not at all the case, just kind of take ownership of, I have been really bad about following up with people, and I'm checking in, and that's a good reason to kind of get it started. Also to ask, hey, I forgot to ask, are you on any prescriptions? Because they think you're asking because they can't take the products, when actually that opens up a door to talk about high blood pressure or migraines or depression or whatever. So that's one of my favorite things to get it away from weight loss, to talk about other things.
Right.
That's great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And another thing, too, is in your follow-up, in any communication, I highly recommend not creating a long storybook, because they're going to get bored and don't read it. And I'll be honest, that's what I did in the beginning. I was like writing these big long books, and Jenny, I was like, help me. She's like, stop telling. So I totally recommend 2 statements and end it with a question. You make 2 sentences, end it with a question. And that keeps the conversation going so that you don't have anything stopping too.
Right. Exactly.
If you ask a question, they're more likely to follow back up.
Absolutely.
Timing.
How
about the timing?
Okay. Timing is everything. Not only with me and it taking a year for me to join, but Sarah Jo. I mean, right. Like I said, first day I joined, went to her and said, you got to do this with me. And she said, oh, how about I'll try it? And she did. She bought for a little bit, and then she dropped off. The timing wasn't right for her. 8 months later, the timing was right for her and her family. And I became the biggest believer, even though Amy always talked about the timing, and I was like, yeah, whatever. It's my timing. I'm ready for them to join. But really, just because you want somebody to join does not mean they're ready. And that's why you got to keep reaching out and following up. And when Terry Jo was ready, holy moly. I mean,
and it's all God's timing. You have to have complete faith in that. You do your job, you reach out, you follow up, but it's God's timing who has this.
Yeah.
And so true. When it's right, it wasn't right for me 8 months ago. If I would have started 8 months prior, Jenny and I would not be where we are today. I know it.
Yeah.
So, but totally. Never stop following up. It's super important. It really separates those in the company, for sure.
It does.
So,
for sure.
Amy, you're up.
All right, my turn. So we're going to talk about you just started, or not even you just started. What are your goals every month? So I remember when I first started, it's all about your PV. That's the very first thing, is you're all about your PV. If you're trying to, let's just say you're joined just to get your products paid for. How am I going to get my products paid for? So the first thing to do is, for sure, you want to get over 500 PV. What are you doing?
Oh, that's for later. Okay. Our little Zoom meeting. It's a Facebook post.
You want to get over 500 PV. And I remember thinking that every time. I want to be over 500 PV. And I have to say, in my 2.5 years, I've never been under 500. And the reason is because you get 25% commission instead of just 15. And that's on your own products too. So in order for you to get your products at the cheapest amount possible, you better be over 500, because you're going to get your 25% off instead of just your 15. So that is, let's say you were at $4.99. Between $4.99 and $500, there's a $40 difference in your commission that you're going to get. So that's how much of a difference it makes just to be over that 500 every time. And then the other way is to definitely try to go silver. Get 3 people that are going to come on board and be qualified ambassadors, which means they're going to get either $100 or more in PV every month. They can either be wholesale, which means they're going to, be over 100. You definitely want them to be over 100. If they're not going to be over 100, then you want them to just be a preferred customer. But if they're going to buy for them and their family and they want the cheapest amount possible, then you want to get 3 people to go silver with you. And then you're going to get points that way. And you're going to have people on your team. I mean, if you can get a Plexus buddy like Jenny and Terry Jo and Julianne and I, 2 people that want to, work the business with you, that's great. But if they just want to be a wholesale customer, just make sure they're going to want to be over that $100 PV every month. And then you get a $100 bonus for that, for going over 3 people.
Yeah.
For going silver.
Talking about.
Oh, and then the last thing is, so we're going to talk about the residual income. So now you've got people on your team. If you decide you're going to work the business, I'm not just going to be wholesale. I'm going to work the business. I'm going to try to get people on my team who also want to get people on their team. Then you're going to build this beautiful thing with our pay points called residual income. So you can actually go on maternity leave, like me, and your team still grows and you still get a paycheck every month. But you're on maternity leave. You're pregnant. You're having a baby, and you're still getting a paycheck. It's kind of amazing, actually.
Promoted.
You got promoted.
And you promote.
I did. I got promoted, and all of that was because before I got pregnant, I did work really hard and waited out a lot of people like you. And then I went on maternity leave, and I still got paid and got promoted, and that's this beautiful thing called residual income. So that is actually really cool.
That's really cool. It really
so
is.
Cool.
It's a great story, Amy.
It is.
How much time do we have, girls?
Yeah,
6:50.
Yeah, 6:50. So
6:50. Okay. So, real quick, I'll just talk about customers versus ambassadors. In the beginning, you're going to think customers are better because you're going to feel that paycheck. And they are great. Customers are wonderful, but customers are going to come and go. Think about yourself. Think about when you order Mary Kay, or you are into a certain, like Kendra Scott, you buy a pair of earrings, you don't need any, or you buy a couple and then you're kind of over it. Customers just are that way. They're not as committed as ambassadors. And one of the main reasons is the community of Plexus. Our Facebook page, sometimes I want to just add my prospects on our Facebook page so they can feel what we feel, because it's so cool to have a group. I mean, I always think about, take Plexus out of the picture. Let's say you were going to relocate somewhere and needed a job. I mean, we have such a network of people on that destination page and here. I mean, you could literally put a need out to this community and have an answer. And to me, that's just amazing, because where else can you connect with people that you would have never known in a million years except through a business like this? So I think that is so cool. But definitely, I'm not going to go over all the pay points and everything, but getting an ambassador and building your team is definitely the way to go. And if you have a customer spending $100 a month or more, I would really encourage them to switch over to be an ambassador and start having those conversations, because it really does make sense for them and it makes sense for you. Now, if they're only buying 1 bag of Slim a month, do not make them an ambassador. That will you won't get the credit for commission and you won't get your points. So make sure it's the right person and the right fit. What else? I know y'all want to wrap up, so I don't want to go over time.
Oh, no. You got
4 minutes.
Yep.
4 minutes. What else is there? Customers. I think we've covered most of somebody crying.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh, pumpkin.
But first of all, everyone who's on this call, I mean, y'all are just amazing.
Oh, where did you go?
Can y'all see us?
Okay, no, you froze. Okay, there
we go.
Sorry, we got a phone call. Just totally blown away by this team every single day and how passionate y'all are. I mean, if y'all can even think back when I first started this and Amy got on board, what is so cool to me is now when we were talking about testimonies, I don't have to look up people I don't know anymore. I literally know every single person. Like, I don't think there's an ailment that we don't have someone on our team that has.
Yeah.
And I just find that so fascinating when your belief is shaken a little bit, or someone emails you and says it didn't work or whatever, and you go back and just skim through our team page and you go, you know what, it does work. If you're ready for it to work and you want it to work, it works.
Mhm.
And that's what's so amazing to me. And then the income is just crazy. I mean, how do you make this money just playing on your phone all day? And I hate it when people say, I don't have time, I'm so busy.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, no, you have time. Believe me, you have time. So anyway, I think our team is just exploding. It's really crazy to see what's happened in the last 12 months, really. And to be on the ground floor, imagine if you could have been the first 250,000 ambassadors in Mary Kay. Just imagine where your family would be financially right now.
Mhm.
So it's exciting. It's really exciting.
It is.
So,
It is.
Totally.
And it's fun
It's-
too. And like you had mentioned today, it's a $34.95 investment.
Mhm.
Remember, I invested $40,000 to start my small business, and I worked 80 hours a week, and it was hard.
and did you even get a paycheck?
Not for a while, no.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it took a while. And then even when I did, it was smaller, but eventually, you have that, and then paying for advertising, $40,000 a year in advertising. And gosh, now how many 14 years later, you know how much more that would be in spending?
Well, and all the issues that we have now, you had with that investment. People who fall off as customers, people who say it doesn't work, people who say it works. All of those things don't go away because you open a restaurant or you have a photography business. I'm sure Mercedes can tell you there's ups and downs in photography.
Right.
Or having stuff on Etsy, there's hot moments and slow moments. And you deal with some crappy people who aren't happy with anything you do. And that happens everywhere. Some people just don't have the thick skin to handle, from plexus.
It's true.
Okay, we got less than a minute, guys.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys.
All
Thank
right. I want to
Thank you,
screenshot
Julie, and
it.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys
Thank
for
you
helping.
thank you for helping us crazy newbies and dealing with the technical.
She's trying to take a picture.
Oh,
Did you get it?
No, you do it.
All right, let's try.
Just do a screenshot.
All right, hold on. Man. How do I get both of us in here? Hold on. Sorry.
See?
I cannot do it. What am I doing?
Because we're hitting.
Gosh.
It's down there. It's down there.
Oh,
that's not.
all right, here we go. Here we go. Let's try it again.
Good.
Ready? I might have got it.
Yay!
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Okay, your mom called here.
I know.
And then because